All right. Bolt Thrower doesn't have a lot of horror in their music. They have a little bit, but not a lot. But I want to cover the pioneers of heavy metal, death metal, that sort of stuff as I run through this podcast journey. And I wanted to get Bolt Thrower in because, one, they're badass. I love me some Bolt Thrower. They're one of those bands that just quickly climbed to the top of my ranks of bands I want to cover on the podcast and bands I want to listen to. The more I kept listening to them, and it's like, well, how can I get Bolt Thrower on the podcast? It's dealing mostly with horror. I said, well, I think I've got a way. So this is the way. Mandalorian's coming out pretty soon, so this is the way. All right, is this cover worthy to hang in the halls of Valhalla? I'm going to attempt to answer that question after I go through the cover, which is an awesome cover. First off, the Bolt Thrower logo, name logo at the top looks awesome with the blues, and it almost looks kind of stonish in a way, like it's made of stone. Multiple letters in their name have in them points, look like arrows or spears. It's really cool. The name Bolt Thrower is laid over a sign that looks like it's either metal or gray. It's a metallic kind of sign. Might be stone. Looks really awesome. Pops, very fantasy looking. The way they did did their band name and the sign. Behind this sign is it looks like a cross to me, in multicolors. You see the top of the cross at the top of the sign, the top of the cross kind of pointing downwards at the bottom of the sign as well. And behind that, a fourth layer, another almost, it looks like stone to me again. Stone, metal, something like that. So you got like you got like four layers right there in just the Bolt Thrower's name. Moving on to that, you've got a red sky bleeding down into an orange background. In front of this orange background is a massive, massive bloody battle. The War Master, which is the name of the album, is obviously in a fight for his life. He's got a gigantic sword with blood on the tip. Blood is spraying everywhere. We've got some kind of wild looking knights in various different get ups. Some of these knights have swords. One has like a pickaxe. They got blood all over those. What else is in here? This War Master guy in the front, he's got the long black hair. He's got like these metallic gloves. Very muscular, very ripped. Conan the Barbarian style. Looks like on his belt is a belt buckle. It might be a skull. There's like a dagger inside a sheath. There's that. He's even got a little blood on his leg. There's something behind him. It's got like a knight's helmet on with horns. It's very red. It might be blood instead of just red. Goodness gracious, there's so much going on in this. There's yellow sand underneath it, gold sand underneath it. In the very far right corner, there's a green, I guess that's a helmet, with horns and a blacked out eyes. I guess a fallen foe on that side. Goodness gracious, I could keep going about this cover. There's so much more here. There's even somebody in the far left corner that's got like a grayish, greenish, blackish helmet on with more horns. I mean, this is just an absolute carnage. This is a battle of carnage right here. Who will survive? Probably the War Master, because he looks like he's got good command of the scene. So, is this poster worthy to hang in the halls of Valhalla? Is this cover worthy to hang? I think it is. I think Oden would love to walk down his halls and see this up there and see the War Master and know that the War Master was serving him pridefully by defending his honor in this battle. So yes, 100% this cover should hang in the halls of Valhalla. Agree or disagree? Let me know in the comments on Spotify or YouTube. Songlinesandtanlines@gmail.com is the place to send any longer replies if you don't want to really comment. You want to type something out in an email. All right, next up, is the title worthy to be written on a hero's tomb. But before I get to that rating, let me say thanks for tuning in the Disembodied Screams podcast. Those returning, thank you. Those new to this podcast, welcome. Now let's go ahead and look at that title and answer this question. Is the title worthy to be written on a hero's tomb? Yes or no? War Master? I think it could be. I could easily see a fallen warrior laying at rest in a tomb. You know, like in the movies you see in the fantasy movies where he's got his arms crossed across his chest. Maybe his sword, his faithful sword between those arms, laying there in a sarcophagus or something, and across the top of the tomb, the doors. And the doors, of course, would be like stone, maybe, or iron, maybe an iron gate kind of thing, or maybe a stone you got to pull across, maybe a golden handle there, and he's just laying in rest there, and across the top says War Master. I could easily see that being written on a hero's tomb. So the answer to that question is yes. And if you saw the start of the episode, which you should have, if you've gone this far, you know how to reply if you agree or disagree. All right, let's get into track listing. For this intro, Unleashed Upon Mankind, What Dwells Within, The Shreds of Sanity. The Shreds of Sanity, really like that song a lot. Profane Creation, Destructive Infinity, Final Revelation, Cenotaph, and the War Master. Rebirth of Humanity and Afterlife. And I was listening to the dynamic mix on Apple, so there's only 9 there. And the 5th one, the C, is a CD bonus track, and that is Destructive Infinity. So if you go to, I know Apple's got the dynamic one, which I like to listen to. It's got more oomph to it. So you only get 9. So what I usually do is I listen to those 9, and then I throw this CD bonus track at the end, so I kind of get to listen to all of them from this one album. So just a little tip if you want to go listen to this one. Singles, there's no singles. I did find something really interesting as I was, kind of looking up some information for this. Do you know what a cenotaph is? It is derived from the Greek kinos, empty, and taphos, tomb. Is a monument built to honor a deceased person or group whose remains are buried elsewhere or lost. It is commonly used for war memorials when bodies cannot be recovered, such as the London Cenotaph, and offers a focal point for remembrance. And that's from a good old Google. Google AI, that one. It says key aspects of a cenotaph. I hope I'm pronouncing that word right. Empty tomb, unlike a traditional grave. It says empty tomb, reading too fast. Unlike a traditional grave, it contains no human remains. Purpose, it serves as a designated symbolic location for mourning and paying respect. And history, the concept dates back to ancient Greek tradition, often used when soldiers could not receive a proper burial. So I thought that was cool to learn that cenotaph is, that's what it means. That's pretty cool. I just stumbled onto that and I was like, I'm going to throw that in the podcast. Why not run up some time on this thing and throw it in the podcast? I was going to try and recommend some songs, and I'm just kind of getting into Bolt Thrower, but I've listened to this one a few times, and The Shreds of Sanity, like I said, just stood out to me right off the bat. Cenotaph, War Master. I think Afterlife is another one that really stood out to me as well. So there's not a bad song on this album. Not a bad song at all. So just go listen to it. I'm kind of journeying my way through Bolt Thrower right now, and they're so good. They're so good. I can't wait to get into the rest of their albums. Like I said, I had to find a way to get them on this podcast, and by God, I did. I hope you kind of enjoy the new format. I'm going to do this too for a Bloody Valkyria, a Monomarth as well. 2 other ones I want to get into later on. I think in September, as the weather chills, those feel like really good ones to get into. All right, album information from Wikipedia. War Master is the 3rd album by British death metal band Bolt Thrower, recorded at Slaughterhouse. God, I love that name, Slaughterhouse Studios. If you got to record an album called War Master, it should be at a place called Slaughterhouse Studios. It just should be. It's so perfect. September 1990 was recorded, produced by Bolt Thrower and Colin Richardson. released on another thing. Just awesome. Another thing, Earache Records. It was released on a Earache Records in 1991. So it's recorded in Slaughterhouse Studios and released on Earache Records. Just absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect. Review scores. All Music, 4.5 stars. Kudos to you, All Music. Bravo. You deserve to be in the halls of Valhalla. NME. Also, I'll give you a little Valhalla love on that one too. 8 out of 10. Record Journal. Oden is not going to be proud with you, Record Journal, for giving this a C+. Come on now. It deserves more than a C+. I don't know sure what you were thinking. Underneath this professional ratings on Wikipedia, it says, whereas Realm of Chaos was dominated by grindcore-based blast and riffs, just think about Realm of Chaos came out before this one. This was 1990, and they're having blast, grindcore-based blasts and riffs. That's pretty original. That's pretty unique. This album abandons most of the grindcore influences for a sound that is more strictly death metal. Moreover, there is more melody in the music and the guitar solos, although some chaotic solos remain. This is also the final Bolt Thrower album to feature the blast beat style of drumming, which can be heard on 4 songs, Unleashed, Upon Mankind, What Dwells Within, War Master, and Afterlife, before it was abandoned and subsequently never used thereafter in the Bolt Thrower discography. So, good little information from Wikipedia there, I thought. And it goes on to say, Cenotaph is a thematic continuation of the song World Eater from the previous record. The closing riff from World Eater is the same as the opening riff from Cenotaph, and also used in Embers from the Fourth Crusade, Powder Burns from Mercenary, and the Kill Chain from Those Once Loyal. I have not got into those other albums. I did listen to the Fourth Crusade, and I really do like it. So, journeying my way forward through their discography. Cannot wait to get through the rest of them. Personnel for Bolt Thrower. Carl Willits on vocals, Gavin Ward on guitars, Barry Thompson on guitars, Andrew Well on drums, and Joe Bench on bass. And I got a little quick question note here. Can you give me some more bands like Bolt Thrower who are early founders and influencers? Listening to the start of the episode, you know how to reach me, but just comment below, songlines@10lines@gmail.com. In case you forgot what was that, the front of the episode. That's a good way to get to me too. But I do know some of other bands. Like I've been listening to Obituary. I listened to some Suffocation. I've listened to Death, of course. Some really early pioneers of it. And I really like Obituary. They got they're really, really good stuff. I was listening to something from them yesterday. What was I listening to from Obituary yesterday? It's their second album. I think it's their second album. But it was really, really good songs on there. All right, that's it. Let me drop anchor here. Close out the episode. If you like what you hear, don't forget to tap the follow button. Basically, wherever you are, just before you're done, once I finish talking, hit the pause button and look at your platform that you're listening to this on and say, what can I do to make this podcast keep growing and showing and reaching more listeners? That's all I ask of you, is just find a way to give it some love. Every little bit helps in a very crowded sea on YouTube and in the podcast world. So whatever you can do, appreciate it so much. And if you want to support me even further, I did start a Patreon page. Go ahead and grumble. It's okay. I understand. There's a lot of Patreon pages out there. A lot of creators asking for stuff. Mine's $1 a month, and that's it. And my whole goal in that one's to dive into the vile side of this death metal genre, like Cannibal Corpse. I've got some vile songs I want to do by Cannibal Corpse and a couple of vile albums. Obituary has one that has like a headless corpse on the cover. I might do that one. Carnal Savagery has a few other ones that are pretty rough looking. So that's kind of my goal on the Patreon page, is to get the stuff that's not it's not really meant for YouTube in the podcast form. So swing over there, check out the Patreon page. Link will be in the show notes. And if you're on YouTube, link is at the top of the page. And that is it. Yeah, that's it. All right, go out today, listen to War Master, crank that extremely loud. Make sure that it can be heard in the halls of Valhalla. Make sure that 50 people around you can hear it as well, because this album needs to be played extremely, extremely loud. Take care. Be good. Thanks for listening.